Or you have a problem with alcohol, and now it's alleged that you've assaulted your mother.
That's if
and then she's so afraid of you, she has to lock herself in her room. All right, the court's going to order a $7,500 10% bond. Please listen very carefully, sir, to these bond conditions, of which you will get a copy of. So I don't want you to come back later saying that you have no idea what your bond conditions are. You're not to have any contact with the complaining witness. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. So we are going back on the record. The court is seeing Mr. Stanley again because it's my understanding there's been some issues that Mr. Stanley is going to raise.
Yes, ma'am. I was advised by the OIC of the case, Detective Sergeant Grove, who left earlier this afternoon, that the victim in the case, Miss Kim Stanley, was contacted by the defendant.
That number was just in my head. I wasn't even trying to call her. I accidentally pressed the wrong number.
All right, we are on the record of the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Daryl Stanley, 2325550.
Good morning, Your Honor. Excuse me, good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke appearing with my client. This time we've sent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, Mr. Stanley, your name for the record, please.
Yep, Daryl Stanley.
All right, and Jay's adds to the arraignment, counsel.
As the arraignment, we waive formal reading. My client stands mute.
Court waive the formal reading. Enter plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. Schedule this matter for pre-trial on January 2nd at 10:45 a.m. The notice to prosecuting officials has been filled out and completed. And counsel as to bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, my client indicates he's not on probation or parole. He does work as RAV Construction. He lives with his mother. He has a strong family support system, and he has a 15-year-old daughter that he pays child support. We'd be respectfully requesting leniency for determining the appropriate plea, or excuse me, the appropriate bond. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and sir, who's the complaining witness in this matter? Do you know the complaining witness?
Yes. I believe it's my mother.
You believe it's your mother?
Yeah, I guess she, yeah.
Is that Kimberly Stanley?
Yes.
And you reside with your mother?
Yes.
Your Honor, I spoke with his mother this morning. If I could speak on bond.
Yes, and just for the record, Detective Sergeant Grove.
Yeah, Detective Sergeant Ken Grove. I spoke with Mr. Stanley's mom today. She said he has a severe drinking problem and she's deathly afraid of him and does not want him to return home while this case is pending. She said she has to lock herself in her bedroom when he drinks to stay away from her.
All right, thank you. Do you work, sir? Where is it you work?
Yes, RAV Construction. We do a lot of work
there.
Downtown Wyandotte. I've been working there for a few months now. Very good job. We do a lot of work in downtown Wyandotte. We built District 142, the vault in downtown Wyandotte, stuff like that. We're doing the old Wyandotte City Hall. We're going to be starting McKinley Schools.
All right, you've only been working there a few months?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so, all right, well, so you haven't been working on those projects. The company has.
No, the company has, yeah. Yep.
And so, sir, in the event you post bond, where is it you're going to stay? Because it won't be with your mother.
Right, I'm going to have to stay with my brother, Your Honor.
Which is where?
Lincoln Park.
And do you have any other pending cases, sir?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, let's see. What happened with your matter in Southgate?
That's resolved.
Okay, great. How was that resolved?
I served time there.
And you just recently served time. Let's see, in November of 22, this court sentenced you to 60 days jail. And then you were sentenced to 15 days jail in June. You got out And then you had another matter in Wyandotte, and the court sentenced you to 45 days jail on that matter. Oh, but there's one pending from October 2nd. Did you have your court date on that one?
Yes, that was resolved too. It was reduced to just a ticket, which I just paid.
Oh, it was reduced to a ticket. Oh,
yes.
That was the agreement between you and the prosecuting attorney?
Yes.
Well, that proved to be helpful because look where you are now. Again, for drinking. Again. So you have a problem with alcohol, and now it's alleged that you've assaulted your mother.
That's, if I may,
she's so afraid of you, she has to lock herself in her room.
If I may speak, Your Honor, I didn't even know that she said that. That was all a complete.
Sir, I would advise you not to discuss the nature of the case. Anything you say can and will be used against you. This is not the appropriate venue.
All right, thank you.
All right, the court's going to order a $7,500 10% bond. Please listen very carefully, sir, to these bond conditions, of which you will get a copy of. So I don't want you to come back later saying that you have no idea what your bond conditions are. You're not to have any contact with the complaining witness. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. I'm not really concerned that it's the holidays or not, sir. You're not having contact with your mother. You're not to enter the premises at the home on Cora Street, with the exception of one visit to obtain your personal belongings, so long as you're accompanied by a police officer. So what that means is that you go to the police department in the event you posted bond. You go to the police department, and then they will go with you. You don't go to the home and then call the police. Do you understand that process, sir?
I understand, Your Honor.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You're not to have access to any firearms and or any weapons. Do you own any of those, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have access to any of those?
No, Your Honor.
You're also to have an alcohol and a GPS tether. House arrest, you may work with proof shown. All right, thank you. We'll see you back on January 2nd.
Hey, Judge.
Thank you.
Later that same evening.
So we are going back on the record in the matter of the city of Wyandotte versus Daryl Stanley, 232550. And appearance, counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Stanley, your name for the record, please.
Daryl Stanley.
Okay. And Detective Carr, if you can please state your name for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Detective Joseph Carr, Wyandotte Police.
All right, thank you. Can you please raise your right hand, Detective? Solemnly swear from the information is true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Joe, can you close that door back there, please? Okay. And so this matter is the court is seeing Mr. Stanley again because it's my understanding there's been some issues that Mr. Stanley is been arraigned. And so, Detective?
Yes, ma'am. I was advised by the OIC of the case, Detective Sergeant Grove, who left earlier this afternoon, that the victim in the case, Ms. Kim Stanley, was contacted by the defendant via in the court phone about 1:45 this afternoon. We know that Mr. Stanley's been in custody since then. She wasn't sure exactly of the phone number, but she was aware of the no contact order that she put in place earlier this morning. Again, I did speak with her, and I just wanted to bring that to the court's attention that Mr. Stanley has been contacting the victim. And I know that Lieutenant Hunter also made Mr. Stanley aware of the no contact order, and again advised him not to make any contact with the victim in the case. So,
okay, and counsel.
Your Honor, I have no reason to doubt the validity of the statements made by the detective. Judge, I just asked that it be fully reinstated or brought to my client's attention what consequences will absolutely stem from any contact, whether he believes it to be wanted or unwanted, that there is absolutely no exception to a no contact provision being violated, and going forward that any notion of this kind of behavior will be strictly admonished. But I don't wish to have a hearing contesting these allegations.
Okay. Mr. Stanley.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what no contact means?
I absolutely do. It was a mistake on my part. I wasn't even trying to call her. I was trying to call my uncle, and I accidentally dialed her number. I would have hung up if she answered. I wouldn't even talk to her. It was a mistake on my part. Accidental.
You were trying to call your uncle. Do they have the same phone number?
No, it's not. It's a different number. I just had that number in my head on accident. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I called that number. I thought I called my uncle's number. Yeah, I just got confused for a second because I don't know that number by heart.
You don't know what number by heart?
I know my mother's. That number was just in my head. I wasn't even trying to call her. I accidentally pressed the wrong number because I was thinking of that number, but I wasn't trying to call her. I was trying to call my uncle. If that makes sense. I know but it's truthfully what happened. I wasn't trying to contact her. I know I can't. So this is a silly mistake. That's
Sir, this court ordered a no contact order,
which I will follow.
And how did you attempt to contact your mom?
I accidentally dialed her number in the jail. It was an accident.
And so did she answer?
No, she did not. And if she did, I would have hung up immediately because I wouldn't realize I made a mistake.
And so was there a voicemail that came on, or what happened?
No, just no answer. No, so there's not been no contact.
Just for the record, I apologize, Your Honor, if I can interrupt real quick. The victim did say that she did not speak with him, and that she just let it go to voicemail, or she didn't pick up at all. So it was one call only, as far as I know, Your Honor.
And do you know if Mr. Stanley subsequently contacted his uncle?
I know that, Your Honor.
Did you subsequently contact your uncle?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an amendment to your bond conditions. So I'm going to add a condition of no phone privileges. So, sir, if it truly was a mistake, then it won't happen again. And if it wasn't, it won't happen again, because you will not have the opportunity to make any phone calls, whether you're still at the Wyandotte jail or you get transferred down to Wayne County Jail. No phone privileges for you, sir. And again, you have a GPS and alcohol tether, and that is through the Wayne County Jail. And if you're within the exclusion zone, sir, of your tether, you will be arrested by the deputies.
Understood.
And let me be very clear, sir. Absent some very extraordinary circumstance, if you are found within that exclusion zone, or if you're contacting your mother in the event you post bond, this court will revoke your bond if that's brought back before the court.
Understand, Your Honor.
Anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, guys.
I'm sorry, what? Did you have a question, Mr. Stanley?
I'll just clarify, I can only go there with a police escort one time to get my personal things. Correct.
Yes, but you have to contact the police department first before you head over that way.
Do that.
Okay, thank you.